Ireland, yeah, like kind of about an hour from where Filthy was.
Okay.
Inland, like in the Midlands. There's it's very what's the word? Indescript. Like there's not a lot of, it's just like flat, like nothing to really, like I could hold the laptop out the window and you'd just be looking at like, what is this? Like there's nothing, it's not, we've no ranging mountains, we've no like, exciting big massive lakes or anything. It's all very, I remember I almost died of wonder when I went to Chicago, and it was like, oh yeah, there's a lake there, and then I was like standing on the edge of this lake being like, this is not a lake, this is an ocean.
Yes, 100%. If you can't see across it, it's a pretty big lake.
Yeah, it's like, is that a tanker that's going across? Like that's not a lake. Yeah, but I think when we were like, because I'd never been there before, we were at the games last year, and I'd never been there before, and I just the size of everything. Like you must have been a bit the opposite when you came to Ireland, where it was like, oh, everything's so close and small, and like everyone seems to know each other.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We had such a great time in Ireland, man. I have nothing but just fond
Mm.
memories of going out there. Yeah, I grew up in a real small town, very rural farming community.
Yeah,
So I love driving around just like the countryside in Ireland. I don't think I made it out to the center too far,
yeah,
but just I would get up in the morning oftentimes and just drive around and go for a run somewhere.
yeah.
Uh,
Is
check
that
out the country a little bit.
is it hard? Is it like? Oh, look, we'll talk about it later on. I have loads of questions about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
cool. Is my audio okay? Can you hear me all right here?
yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. How's the has it been an anticlimactic week post games, or are you like chomping at the bit to get going now? Have you eyes on February ready to go, or are you kind of like, it must be emotionally draining coming back and going back to work after it?
Yeah, it's oh man, it's just exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting. I think the season in 2020, um, as everybody's probably talked about already, it just got really long. And I think for for Justin to have a little bit of downtime and just kind of step back and gain some perspective,
Hmm.
having wrapped up the season has been a really exciting time. And yeah, I don't know about anticlimactic. It's like I said, we're just so pumped about how this year went, and
Hmm.
just so much looking forward to what's to come.
Would it nearly have been better if he obviously like he needs rest and you need a break and to settle and whatever. But do you think is there any concern about like losing momentum? Like would it have been easier to kind of keep going and keep the fire lit and everything? Or do you think having been at the games is enough to, give that push to be like, no matter what it takes, I'm getting back there?
Yeah, I think the stoke is pretty high. I think
Yeah.
the fire's lit. That's for sure. Uh, just I think for Justin being able to, not be in that mode of trying to peak for the CrossFit Games for, what we thought was going to be, a certain period of time, and then that got extended and extended and
Mhm.
extended. I think that was just a long time to be in that, that mental frame of like, hey, I'm getting ready for this competition that is looming, but it keeps getting pushed back and back.
Yeah.
So now it just feels like there's time to work on things, and there's some time to enjoy some family and some of the other things that maybe got put on hold a little bit while he was in the tunnel
Mm.
of prepping for the games.
He's not from Fort Vancouver, sure he's not?
No, he's from Lodi, California,
Yeah.
uh, and he's a student at Boise State, which is in Idaho, and then he trains here when he can. So yeah, he's currently back at home with his family. He'll be there till about Christmas,
Yeah.
and then we'll be back up here. The silver lining of kind of this year's events is that his school is 100% online, so he's got about a year of
Oh
college
yeah.
left. So the nice thing about doing that online is he can do it from anywhere.
He's doing fuck, I can never
Yeah.
say it.
Feel-
Kinesiology or whatever.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay. Um, yeah, that's interesting now. So God, he's very split, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so look, we get going. I have a shit ton of questions for you, so strap yourself in.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks a million for doing it, first of all. I really appreciate it. I think I had Justin on himself like March or April.
Okay.
And I think after that conversation, you were someone that I desperately wanted to talk to, because I think I said it to him at the time, but like he's obviously got an insanely good support structure around him, because for someone so young, he's so like level headed and so grounded and so like just mature about everything. Like he's just so, I don't know, it's bizarre. Like I was kind of, even after talking to him, I was a bit like I hung up the call and I was just like, that was weird. Like when I was 21, I was such a dickhead. Like, and he's so like, I meant to say actually, you were on another episode of this show, and you might not realize it, but I was actually interviewing Shane Orr in the hotel when you were checking out.
Oh, sweet.
So at one point he was like, you had already said, "Oh yeah, I'll come on," and I kind of left you alone then because the games are coming up. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be annoying him, like trying to set a date, so I'll just wait till it's over and talk to him then." But I was talking to him the morning after, and he's a really cool guy, but he was like, uh, in mid conversation, he broke off and he's like, "Oh, see you later, take care," whatever. And then he came back and he's like, "Oh, that was Adam, like Justin's coach." And I was like, "Oh, he's coming on in a couple of weeks." So I just thought it's funny that you and Arm and Hammer are the only people to be on 2 episodes. He actually did 2 episodes, but you, by walking past the camera, have been on a second episode, and you both have mullets. So there's a
That's
random
hilarious.
statistic.
I was trying not to interrupt Shane. I didn't know who he was talking to. I thought he was like on a phone with his family or something. But
Yeah,
you know what? Like another, not to ramble on, but just like an example of like I love Shane and Tia so much um, for who they are as people. Like one time Shane, I think it was on Saturday, he was like, "Hey Adam, like you got to tell Justin for me. He's doing amazing. Like keep it up, keep being aggressive, and we believe in him. Will you tell him that?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I tell him that all the time. Do you think you could tell him that? Because I think it would mean a lot to him."
yeah,
And sure enough, like Shane went on, and like Shane's like intensity face, like he's like,
yeah,
really, really focused. His eyebrows get furrowed, and he's like, he told Justin like, "Hey man, you got this. We believe in you." And like, and then later, Tia actually went into the trailer and like gave Justin a little pep talk and was like, "Look, man, like you're here. You got it. Basically, 4 or 5 workouts left at the CrossFit Games. Like, man, we see your potential, and we're just so excited for you." And just was so honest with him about what they thought was possible.
yeah.
And Justin told me later, like, "Dude, Tia came up and she told me this and that." And it like it was a game changer for him. Like it fired him up, it inspired him. And so,
Mm,
they didn't have to do that. They didn't like, there was nothing in it for them, and yet they did.
yeah.
And that's just so cool, man. It's just like that's the kind of people we have at the top of our sport, man. It's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
thankful for.
that's incredible. I think a part of me is like, if that was me, if I was in Justin's position there, after they walked away, I'd be like, they're fucking with me. They're trying to put me off because.
But no, man, I hear where dude, I get where you're at. But he was like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
can," like
Yeah. No, I'm sure it was all with like the tone that it was delivered with and stuff. It meant a lot to him. But me as a cynic, if I was in that position, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, they're going to run back to Matt now and tell him that I'm
"Oh
crying.
yeah, like how we got him right where we want him."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Listen, man, thanks a million. Enjoy the rest of your day. I really appreciate you coming on.
yeah,
Yeah, all the best. I'll be rooting for you all next year anyway.
cool, man. Well, hopefully our paths will cross again, and we'll see. Yeah, hopefully in Madison, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Cheers, man.